Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the formal induction ceremony for the National Honor Societies in World Languages, English, and Social Studies. To start off our evening, we're going to have everyone rise and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before I introduce Mr. Bianco from World Languages, if all students and families, if we can silence our cell phones and put them away for this ceremony so we can honor our students. Mr. Bianco.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Michael Burke, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Mrs. Corinne Ryan, Interim Principal of the High School, Ms. Melinda Folchetti, Assistant Principal, Mr. Michael Prisky, families, faculty, and our inductees. Welcome to this lovely event honoring our students' achievement in their study of world languages, English, and social studies. For world languages, students at Rhinebeck have the opportunity to partake in dual enrollment college courses and AP language courses in French, Italian, and Spanish. In doing so, students can earn up to 6 college credits in each language. Supported in their studies by a dedicated group of teachers, Ms. Monica Aparicio, Mr. Chris Karam, Mrs. Rosa Ferrante, Mrs. Rosina Martinelli, Ms. Kathleen Regan, and Mr. Zachary Zamek, these teachers spend their day sharing their knowledge, passion, love, and enthusiasm for language and culture. Tonight's inductees have demonstrated their aptitude and interest in the study of their respective language and culture by satisfying strict grade and enrollment requirements, and is currently enrolled in or has completed the AP level course for their language. They have never viewed language learning as a graduation requirement and understand the many benefits that accompany their acquisition of a second language or many second languages. May each of you continue to grow your love for language and culture. We will now begin our induction ceremonies. I would like to now invite Grayson Finley to the stage to initiate our French induction.
La Société honoraire du français a été fondée par l'Association américaine de professeurs de français en 1949. Sa devise est « Une personne qui sait 2 langues en vaut 2 ». La Société honoraire du français est heureuse de recevoir ses nouveaux membres qui partagent leur amour pour la langue, les lettres et les peuples de la francophonie. Notre chapitre de la Société est nommé en l'honneur de Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, écrivain français reconnu pour son roman Le Petit Prince. French inductees, you may now stand. Repeat after me. Par ce flambeau, symbole du transfert des connaissances, je m'engage à continuer sans relâche mes efforts pour apprendre et transmettre aux prochaines générations mon amour pour la langue française, aussi bien que ses arts, ses lettres et ses peuples partout dans le monde. Je suis fier d'accepter cette responsabilité et je promets de faire tout mon possible pour accomplir ce but. Lux con evolute. You may now be seated. I would now like to invite Brady Sergio to the stage for Italian.
Questa società onoraria italica è stata fondata dall'Associazione Americana di Insegnanti di Italiano per gli studenti che frequentano le scuole secondarie negli Stati Uniti. Il nome scelto per la sezione è Giuseppe Verdi ed il motto è Sempre Avanti. Incominciamo l'insediamento serio e significativo. Ripetete tutti insieme il giuramento della società frase per frase. Students being inducted for Italian, please stand up and repeat the phrases. Come membro della sezione Giuseppe Verdi di Rhinebeck, prometto di dedicarmi allo studio della lingua italiana, ricordando che una lingua può essere un giorno un laccio forte fra persone di varie origini, di razza e religione, da cittadino della mia patria, mi impegno di promuovere l'amicizia e l'accordo fra essa ed altre nazioni del mondo. Questa è la mia promessa ed il mio giuramento. You may now be seated. I would now like to invite Julian Russo to the stage for Spanish.
Esta sociedad honoraria hispánica fue fundada por la Asociación Americana de Maestros de Español y Portugués en 1953 para los estudiantes de las escuelas norteamericanas. El nombre de este capítulo es Hermandad Honoraria. Nuestro lema es Todos a una. Ahora vamos a guardar silencio. Esta es nuestra iniciación, seria y significativa. Ustedes repetirán juntos el juramento de la sociedad, frase por frase. Students being inducted into Spanish, please stand up and repeat after me. Como miembro del capítulo Hermandad Honoraria, prometo dedicarme al estudio de la lengua española con el fin de dominarla algún día, recordando que una lengua puede ser un lazo fuerte entre personas de distintos orígenes, de raza o religión. Como ciudadano de mi patria, prometo promover la amistad y el entendimiento entre ella y los otros países del mundo. Esta es mi promesa y mi juramento. You may now be seated. I would now like to invite Ms. Slattery and Ms. Mackin for English Honor Society induction.
Thanks, Julian. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight as we celebrate the first induction ceremony for the English Honor Society of Rhinebeck. As we study English language and literature, we are constantly reminded that reading and writing pave the way for a life of enrichment, empathy, and joy. The mission of the National English Honor Society is to celebrate the power of literature and the written word. Rhinebeck members are committed to lifelong learning and a deep appreciation for the humanities and their ability to foster critical thinking and the understanding of the human experience. Selection requires a reflection on the students' reading and writing lives. Some responses include:
Reading has given me the privilege of stepping into countless different lives, allowing me to experience perspectives, eras, and emotions beyond my own. What I read inspires me, and what I write compels me to consider literature on a deeper level. I love to write poems and short stories, and from an early age I found the power that words hold. Studying the humanities constantly lives up to its name. It reminds us that we are human, with all of our virtues and flaws. In this rapidly changing world, our connections to one another have never been more important. We hope our students continue to study literature and foster their love of reading for the rest of their lives.
Now we'd like to invite Pedro Swide up to say a few words as the president.
Being honored for a work in language studies, whether in literary examination or fine writing, goes hand in hand with the responsibility to use one's abilities to shape a better world, to help others, to turn being honored into honoring a future rich with possibilities in a world ladled with potential. Our national motto, "Duty Goes with Honor," was purposely selected in part because it represents the high calling to which each of us must respond. Just as being honored empowers us, so we empower others. Membership in the National English Honor Society implies that we accept the responsibility of sharing the best of language and literature with others. There is no fixed way of doing this. Each must find a way to share and to foster the rich use and enjoyment of our language. I would like to introduce our Vice President, Dana Permidian.
Henry David Thoreau once said, "It takes two to speak the truth, one to speak and another to listen." As members of the National English Honor Society, you understand the importance of communication, the value of listening, and the significance of expression. You have proven yourselves capable of serious study of the English language and of pursuing the truth in works of literature or in your own creative expressions of poetry or prose. Being a member of this organization and of the English community as a whole requires that you continue these efforts and prepare yourselves to take into the world the truths you have found here, sharing with others your joy and appreciation of our discipline. Truth cannot exist in a vacuum, and like art, it must be shared to be understood. I'd like to introduce our co-secretaries, Lena Adra and Gianna Stracuzzi.
William Shakespeare in his play Henry V wrote, "As many arrows loose several ways, come to one mark, as many ways meet in one town, as many fresh streams meet in one salt sea, so may 1,000 actions once afoot end in one purpose and be all well born without defeat."
We are like those many arrows, each coming from a different source, each with unique talents and varied interests. But as members of the National English Honor Society, we all promise to support one another and to focus our energies on society's goals. We follow the design laid out before us, assured that our strength of intent and clarity of purpose will assist us in our aims. We please invite Treasurer Grace Infinity to the stage.
New members, in honor of your accomplishments and in anticipation of your bright future, I end this ceremony with these words by Emily Dickinson. Please commit them to yourself as you grow in our society, in our community, and in our mutual dedication to a life of letters. We never know how high we are till we are called to rise. And then, if we are true to plan, our statures touch the skies. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Marcella Cookie, and welcome to the first Social Studies Honor Society induction ceremony for Rhinebeck High School. This organization, Rho Kappa, is part of the National Council for the Social Studies, the nationwide organization focused on leadership, support, and advocacy for social studies education. The field of social studies is made up of many smaller disciplines: history, geography, anthropology, sociology, economics, psychology, political science, and civics, just to name a few. Thank you to our social studies department, Jennifer Carpinello, Amanda Dodona, Thomas Graziano, Nora Hansen, and Sean Tedrow, whose dedication and commitment is one of the reasons why we have so many candidates here tonight. We encourage our students to think critically, become problem solvers, and engage in discourse that demonstrates a thorough understanding of the world around them. Candidates, you are being presented for induction in Rho Kappa, a society whose purpose is to honor the excellence in the field of social studies. It is an honor to be selected for membership into this organization, and I congratulate each of you for attaining this distinction. Our name, Rho Kappa, is taken from two words of Semitic origin. Rho is derived from the word resh, meaning head, and Kappa is derived from kamp, which means palm of the hand. Both these symbolize our firm belief that knowledge without service is useless. Each of you meets the requirements for membership, and this includes superior work in social studies classes and participation in school and community service. Your work demonstrates the qualities of industry, initiative, and reliability. The principal purpose of Rho Kappa is to stimulate a deeper and more comprehensive understanding of all the academic disciplines comprising the social studies curriculum. Thus, on this occasion, it is appropriate to take a moment and reflect on the significance and contributions of the field of social studies in the development of the individual. Now I would like to call up the Rho Kappa president, Ashley Hernandez, to explain the meaning behind the first of our 4 pillars of our organization.
The first pillar, which is the color white, represents verdades, or truth. According to Nadine Gordimer, South African author and Nobel laureate, the truth isn't always beauty, but the hunger for it is. In social studies, we seek the truth. The truth we seek is untarnished by prejudice or bias. It is this search that leads us to greater understanding of the world and humanity's place in it. I would love to call up our Vice President, Jose Alamarza, to discuss the second pillar.
The second pillar, which is the color green, stands for scientia, or knowledge. The Greek philosopher and dramatist Euripides stated, "Whoso neglects learning in his youth loses the past and is dead for the future." As a member of Rho Kappa, you have the distinction of being one who seeks knowledge in your youth, and you are therefore building upon your understanding of the past in order to create a future of your own and that of the world in which we live. I would like to call up our secretary, Jana Stracuzzi, to discuss the third pillar.
The third pillar, which is the color gold, represents sapienta, or wisdom. As Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes said, "It is a providence of knowledge to speak, and it is a privilege of wisdom to listen. Wisdom is the tool we use to discern what is true and how to value that truth." I would like to call up our treasurer, Elena Artizone, to discuss the last pillar.
The fourth pillar, which is the color blue, represents officium or service. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Indian political leader Mohandas Gandhi once said, "True civic engagement in school or community service lies not within what you do, but why you do it." I would like to call back up our advisor, Mrs. Saikuki, who will lead us through our oath.
You have now briefly heard the major characteristics of the Rho Kappa Scholar. Those of you who agree that you strive to fulfill these fundamental principles, please rise for your induction where you will recite our oath. You have copies of the oath at your seat. Repeat after me to recite the oath. I state your name. Do promise to serve others. To search for the truth. To utilize knowledge. And to seek wisdom. Through the pursuit of academic excellence. In the field of the social studies. I promise service. To Rhinebeck High School. And to the community. For true scholars. Of the field of social studies. Lead by example. I now declare you members of Rho Kappa. Now I'd like to introduce our high school principal, Ms. Melinda Folchetti, who will announce the names of the inductees of all of our honors.
Yay! And now the moment you've all been waiting for. You ready? Lena Adra, English, Social Studies, and French. Jose Almarza, Social Studies. Jalen Altenboss, English, Social Studies, Spanish. Max Andrews, English and Social Studies. Elena Artizone, English, Social Studies, Italian. Aoife Bronneman, English, Social Studies, Spanish. Eli Castro, Spanish. Christopher Cervantes Morales, Italian. Christina Citrone, Italian. Isabella Chin, Social Studies and English. Scarlett Colombini, Spanish. Emma Cunningham, English and Social Studies. Harrison Delaney, Italian. Shaylee Echeverria, Spanish. Spencer Elliott, English, Social Studies, Spanish. Malik Fall, English, French. Grayson Finley, English, Social Studies, French. Benjamin Gatenio, English, Social Studies. Isabella Hauser, Italian. Ashley Hernandez, English, Social Studies. Jiawen Jung, Social Studies. Alexander Kahn, English and Spanish. Madeline Carl, English and Social Studies. So Kasai, Social Studies. Jian Kawai, Social Studies. Brooke Ledun, English. Gabrielle Lapoutre Muriel, French. Betzeda Lopez Perez, Italian. Paul Liam Madden, English, Social Studies, Italian. Sienna Madden, English, Social Studies, Italian. Troy Mahoney, Spanish. Elliot Maskels, Spanish. Parker Massett, English, Social Studies, Spanish. Thomas McNiff, Spanish. Rafael Medina Magana, Spanish. Christopher Michelli, Italian. Nicole Pappalardi, English and Italian. Luke Pereira, English. Dana Prudian, English and Social Studies. Isaac Rabinowitz, Social Studies. Ruth Radulovic, English. Brian Reza, Spanish. Julian Russo, English and Spanish. David Ryan, Social Studies and Spanish. George Santa, Social Studies and Spanish. Lavana Sabane, Spanish. Brady Sergio, Italian. Vanessa Shin, English and Spanish. Noah Siegel, English. Ella Sperling, English and Social Studies. Gianna Stracuzzi, English and Social Studies. Pedro Swide, English and Social Studies. John Sykes V, English, Social Studies, Spanish. Sarah Takauchi, Social Studies. Our next candidate couldn't be here tonight, but we want to honor him. Willem Van Rogen, Italian. Taylor Broom, English and Social Studies. Daniel Walsh Jr., Spanish. Logan Williams, Social Studies and Spanish. And Felino Epon, Social Studies. All right, let's have a big hand for all the candidates. What a well-rounded and determined bunch of young scholars. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you to everyone who came out tonight, parents, families, friends, to share this occasion with us. Thank you to the advisors and department members who worked so hard putting this together. Thank you to Ms. Kane in the counseling office for all her help in organizing and executing this. And especially, thank you, the students being inducted, for all the hard work you put into your studies. In our very technological times, the subtleties of language, literature, and social studies often get overlooked. But here, tonight, in the lives of these students, the study of culture, the making of meaning, and the pursuit of understanding our past and anticipating our future are alive and well. Our students study these disciplines and excel in them in an effort to come to true human understanding. Their induction tonight is surely a culmination of their efforts, but perhaps more important is a commitment to continue these endeavors. The faithfulness these students demonstrate to the oaths they've taken here is a promise to continue, as William Butler Yeats suggests, not to the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Thank you very much. And now our superintendent, Mr. Burke, would like to say a few words to the students.
Thank you, Ms. Pacetti. Good evening. Words matter. They always matter. We are taught this as children as we navigate our primary years. Words matter. and never more so than the current climate of secondary education. Despite the new challenges from artificial intelligence with programs such as ChatGPT, words just don't matter, they are very powerful. It has been an honor to hear about the accomplishments of this impressive collection of students here tonight. We celebrate the specific talents of these students that represent incredible potential moving forward. The art of expression and persuasion in well-written précis, the ability to analyze history and explain a viewpoint or argument from an event that is told secondhand. And finally, how easy is it to admire someone who has mastered communication in more than one language? As members of tonight's Humanities National Honor Society, you have mastered a skill that will serve you well in your future callings. Who doesn't remember debating as a young child what is the greatest superpower? Speed, strength, invisibility, all pale in comparison to being able to use the power of words through written or spoken text. We laud these students tonight for their accomplishments and celebrate their foundation of their success moving forward. There is no secret to finding success in language arts, social studies, and world languages. It's studying, analyzing, and synthesizing. Congratulations on being the best of the best here at Rhinebeck, and never forget the power of your words as you begin such a promising next chapter of your academic and professional careers. Thank you.